Welcome, friends. It's Miss Jisa, and today I have a very special guest with me, Soonju Kim, who wrote and illustrated the book Samsoon and Farewells. She is a Korean American writer and illustrator based on the East Coast. Welcome, Soonju.
Thank you so much, and it's such a pleasure to meet you and your community.
Thanks for being here with us. Thank you for sharing your book. I just love the illustrations. They're like none I've ever seen in children's books. And just the colors and the style. They're, your illustrations are soft and soothing and peaceful. I feel like those illustrations are perfect. And I was wondering, how did you decide on that illustration style?
Yeah, and first of all, I would say you are so kind and compassionate for appreciating the story and appreciating the artwork. It means so much to me. So thank you so much for the kind words.
You're sweet.
Um,
Thank you,
yeah.
Soonju.
And in terms of my illustration style, I would say that it really comes back or, is inspired by my upbringing in Korea. So, fun fact about me is that I was born in Korea, Jeonju, which is a province in Korea full of culture and full of different Korean artwork and things like that. And so I would say that it really is inspired by me growing up seeing old Korean art and enjoying calligraphy and enjoying kind of that Korean traditional style of watercolor and things like that, which transcended into me practicing that in my illustration work.
And what media did you use for your illustrations? Did you use watercolors?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. It is a hobby of mine to paint. I actually went to school to study art and design as well as math, which is another fun fact. And
Very
so,
different.
yeah. And so I have paints around with me in my place, which is kind of like my studio. I also have calligraphy kind of materials at hand readily available for me to practice. And I think that's another beautiful thing about LA is that the art stores in LA near Koreatown actually sell Korean calligraphy brushes and paints and things like that. And so I do that as like a fun kind of hobby of mine on the side.
Okay.
And for the artwork itself, because I have to lay it out and kind of organize it in a digital environment, I use
Yeah.
Procreate to transfer the drawings and paintings and do that organization to create the book.
Okay. Okay. So do you do them on paper first and then you
Yeah,
transfer them? Okay.
yeah. So I do like I have sketchbooks where I make a lot of drawings and then I also use Procreate to color them online or color them digitally.
That's fantastic. I'm curious, what inspired you to write Samsoon and Farewells? Was it based on a real experience you had?
Oh, thank you so much for this question. It's so delightful. So I think it really was this one day where I was drawing on my sketchbook and I don't know. Like one day I woke up and it was just so organic. I drew this character, Samsoon, and maybe I think it's a self-portrait of me where I had this one person share with me, how do you see yourself? And maybe that was kind of in my ear, in my thoughts.
Yeah,
And I drew this character with wings and this hanbok, which is the traditional Korean garment.
which I love. I love, love, love.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That hanbok, the white and pink, was actually this hanbok that I wore when I visited my parents in Jeonju. So
Okay.
it kind of came like full circle, and that's what, started this conception of Samsoon Adventures.
Can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yes. So Giza, I shared with you the Samson and Farewells,
Mhm.
and this story is inspired by many farewells I had in my life. Without me getting kind of emotional, I will say that in my life, whether it be a goodbye to a friend, goodbye to your animals, maybe goodbye to your plants. I found myself having this emotional experience. And so I wanted to encourage and give compassion with my story to others around the world that may be going through departures and farewells, however short, however long, to give this sense of hope and have compassion for one another as we go through many farewells, just as much as we go through a lot of hellos. It's kind of like this balance that I wanted to shine light on.
Yeah, having gone through a really big loss recently myself, it really was kind of the perfect timing when you sent me this book. And I really enjoyed it so much. And just the wisdom in it. I've been carrying it around with me ever since I read it. I was so touched by the grandma's character in the book and her wise words. And it really brought tears to my eyes. And I love, how she told Samsoon to treat goodbyes as natural farewells instead of permanent departures, just like the clouds. And to encounter each, unique farewell gracefully. That's just so beautiful. And the way, the clouds do just move on, and pass by. And I just, that imagery really spoke to me. And I was wondering, did someone in your family say those same words to you?
I really thank you for just appreciating this story because it was so personal, translating this onto paper.
Mhm.
And so your thought and your kindness really means so much to me. um, and I share you with you love and light.
Thank you.
And in regards to the clouds passing, I will say that we're all survivors and we're all overcoming something. And I was going through a really heavy period in my life, kind of like what you shared, where I was going through a really big farewell. And it was tough every day. It was not, sunshine and rainbows every day. Some days I woke up and it was very hard. And I did a meditation and I try my best to meditate every day, or say my have that moment of reflection each day I
Yeah.
rise. And one day after meditation, I looked outside the window, and maybe it's because I tuned out all the noise after my meditation, but I saw the clouds moving gracefully. And I really do feel that in my hardest moments, when I open my eyes or when I have my sensories, I see that the world has so many answers for me and they care about me. And so when I saw that through the clouds, it gave me grace and it gave me a sense of hope that I'm going through something that is part of life. And it's not something to be so painful about. And this too shall pass. And so I really wanted to like record what I was reflecting on when I looked outside the window. And it's so crazy because it was right here,
Yeah.
like right here, this
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
And so I just got my notebook and I recorded what I reflected right here. And that's how the story came about.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really challenging to write a children's book because you have to keep it so tight, so short, and somehow with your words, you just nailed it, and and I think for adults, as well as children. The feeling came through, the message came through. And I just, yeah, I, I'm thankful for your book. It's definitely helped me. Um,
Thank you so much. And
yeah, yeah,
it's like so many emotions. That's why I have a lot of facial expressions. Is like I'm so I was sharing with my brother the amount of happiness I feel is immeasurable, and we got kind of teary-eyed yesterday of how far this passion of mine just got translated into paper. And then also kind of resonating with you about the farewell. So it's like so many mixed emotions I am
yeah, yeah.
feeling as
I
we're going.
understand that.
Yeah.
I can completely relate to that. Sunju, I have a question. So throughout the story, I noticed that the little girl in the story has these beautiful wings, and I was wondering if they signify something.
Yes. And I really thank you again for the observation. It's the first question I was asked that no one asked me, including my family. And
Oh,
so it's
wow.
such a special question. And I really reflected on this before this discussion with you and this wonderful experience with you. I do think that my inspiration of the wings came from how I see souls. And whether it be children, whether it be adults, whether it be just at any age, any identity, I do believe we all innately have souls within us. And that is what inspired me to draw the wings, and that I like to believe we're all kind of like fairies in a way, where we all wish to elevate, we all wish to lighten the heavy rocks that we may have on our shoulders at times. And
Yeah,
it's a timeless entity, not just this age, but this age and beyond.
yeah, yeah. Um, what challenges did you face while writing this book?
So that's another wonderful question, is that I actually I think the biggest challenge with any creators is just doing it and just writing.
Yeah.
Because I think that speaking about age and time, is that as we get older, we have a lot of noises externally
Mhm,
that kind of consume our potential fear to just write on paper.
mhm.
And so I think the biggest thing was empowering myself and going back to what innately gave me joy since I was little, which
Yeah,
was drawing and writing, and remove that, external noise and just start. And I think the second thing was the reflection I had outside the window after my meditation. Like, how do I convey this? Or do I think people can see eye to eye with this or understand a little bit? And so my mom really helped me in that she was kind of my conversation.
like sounding board.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
I shared with her, hey, I had this reflection. I really had this wonderful epiphany. And when she encouraged me and when she was like, oh, that's actually a really great reflection, and kind of helped me with my storytelling. So that was a second difficulty, I will say.
yeah. I can understand and relate to that. Like you have this experience, and then how do you put this feeling
Yeah,
into words, right?
exactly. Yeah. And then, like what you shared, it has to be digestible, like you said, for the children. And
Right.
so what story, like what illustrations can I do? Things like
Right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, is this book part of a series? or already, or a part of a series that you're going to do with Samsoon?
Yeah, so you know, growing up, I think another inspiration was Stay Bears. So when I came to America, English as a second language, I had a wonderful neighbor who just gifted us with a whole bunch of Stay Bears series.
Oh my goodness.
And
Like a
yeah,
kid in a candy store, right?
so when I was little, I would just read it over and over and over again. And that inspired me to create Samsoon Adventures, which,
Interesting.
yes, it's exactly inspired by Berenstain Bears. And what I also love about Berenstain Bears is it taught us so much about just like good values, how we treat our friends, how we treat our siblings, things like that. And so I would love to pass it forward with
Yeah.
Samson Adventures and have many adventures along the way.
Wonderful. Are you working on another adventure right now?
Yes, so I have one coming to be released. It's in the works, and
Okay.
I would love to share it with you and your
For
community.
sure.
And then I also have like a Korean exercise book that
Okay.
I created with my mom as well. And so it was released just a few days ago, and there's many like drawings that I've done
Those are
alongside the writing.
those are
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love that. Okay, so where can families find, because this is the second Samsoon book in your series.
Yeah.
Um, and so where can they find your two books plus your beautiful Korean handwriting book?
Yeah, so at this time, they're available on Amazon, but
Okay,
um, it's to be determined about different outlets. But
okay,
right now, Amazon is the best place to
great,
find the adventure series. And
great.
yeah, I look forward to sharing further adventures.
I look forward to reading them and sharing them as well. And for everyone watching, I'm going to have all of Soonju's information in the show notes, as well as the link to Amazon for her books. So Soonju, I hope we see you soon with your next book, and wish you just the best of luck with all of your artistic endeavors.
Thank you so much. And I really want to thank you for encouraging me and encouraging artists around the world. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you. Thank you. It was
You.
just such a pleasure to have you.
Me as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Bye, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to like and subscribe to support our channel.